So today, guys, we're going to look at how does the Google Pixel Fold compare to a $1,000 foldable cell phone in the Techno Phantom V Fold. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So here's what's interesting. So Techno Phantom V Fold is not actually a phone based out of China. It's actually a phone based out of India. So they do actually have a Amazon page, which as you can see right here, and they do have their phone listed. So if you go to Phantom Series, you can see that they are actually selling their cell phone on their Amazon page. They do have a website, but I couldn't find any way to buy their phone other than being redirected over to their Amazon page. Now, they do have a total of, what is this, 8 cell phones here, and the first one is the one we're talking about, which of course is the Techno Phantom V Fold. Now, you might say 88,888 and be confused. This is just the Indian rupees, which, when you translate to USD, it's going to come out to $1,047. Obviously, the product's going to be taxed depending on where you live, but of course, this is the first phone we're looking at where it's actually available on a website. It's actually available on Amazon that you can actually get right now, and you don't have to get from like a third party, seller and try to find it elsewhere. You can actually get this phone from Amazon.com. Now, there are actually 4.3 out of 5 rating. There's 264 reviews on this. So there's a lot of reviews on this stuff. So in all honesty, on this phone. So there are a lot of positive things. Now, keep in mind, and I'm not saying they're doing this, but I want to go ahead and be transparent here. Sometimes, especially when it's companies outside of United States, outside UK, they can buy reviews, and it does happen if it's a smaller brand, smaller company. They could buy, positive reviews when in reality the reviews might be negative because it might not be that good of a phone. But I'm not saying they're doing that here. I just want to go ahead and put that out there. This is a $1,000 foldable cell phone though. And if you compare that to the Google Pixel Fold, this is $1,800. Here's how the two shake out. The Google Pixel Fold is being powered by the Google Tensor G2 chip, while the Techno Phantom is being powered by the MediaTek 9000 Plus chip. The inside display of the Google Pixel Fold is a 7.6-inch 120Hz OLED primary display, while the Techno comes with a 7.85-inch 120Hz OLED primary display. For the outer display, the cover display, it's going to be a 5.8-inch 120Hz OLED display for the Google Pixel Fold, while the Techno Phantom comes in at a 6.42-inch 120Hz OLED cover display. Both of them are going to give you 12 gigabytes of RAM. Both of them give you the same exact storage model options of 256 gigabyte and 512. The Techno does have a bigger battery life of 5,000 milliamps versus 4821 of the battery for the Google Pixel Fold. Both of them give you USB-C. Both the operating systems are going to be Android 13. The front camera on the Google Pixel Fold is an 8 megapixel. The inner selfie camera is going to be an 8 megapixel. The front shooting camera is going to be a 9.5 megapixel. While for the other phone, the Techno phone here, we have a 16 megapixel inside camera, and then we have a 32 megapixel outer front shooter. For the rear cameras, we have a 48 megapixel main sensor. We have a 5 times optical zoom. We also have a 10.8 megapixel and another 10.8 megapixel. For the Techno phone, we have a 50 megapixel main sensor, 50 megapixel telephoto camera, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide. It does say 2 times, but it does not say optical zoom, so not sure what the optical zoom is exactly for there. The connectivity is 5G. It does come with Bluetooth 5.2, Wi-Fi 6E, NFC ultra wideband, and it does for the Techno it comes with a GPS, Wi-Fi, FM, Bluetooth, and NFC. For the colors, it does come in obsidian and porcelain, and for the Techno it comes with black and white. For charging, it's 20 watt wireless and 30 watt wired, and for the Techno, it's a 45-watt wired. Now, I do want to go ahead and put this disclaimer in because I'm not sure if this is exactly for this phone we're talking about, but I know that some phones, when you buy them from India, they cannot be used in the United States. I want to stress that enough. Not every single phone's like this, but there are some phones, if you buy them in India, you cannot use them in the United States without a Indian SIM card. Okay, so let's say you have let's say you have Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, whatever you have, you cannot use those services on some Indian cell phones. You have to use an Indian SIM card. It will tell you when you unlock the phone and use the phone, it will say, please insert an Indian SIM card. If you do not, it will not let you go past the startup screen. You can't use the phone as Wi-Fi only, even if you wanted to. If you're like, well, okay, I'm just going to use Wi-Fi only, then it will be my secondary device. Not going to work. It won't let you get past the startup screen until you put in an Indian SIM card. It can activate, and then it can go through the process. I just want to clarify that because it's not every single Indian phone, but there are some phones that come from India that you cannot use unless you are from India and have an Indian service or call service, whether that is, whatever. I don't really know the Indian call services, but you just need the SIM card. You need the SIM card, or else it's not going to work. If you put in Verizon in the United States, it's going to say, I'm sorry, we can't do that. You got to use an Indian SIM card. Just key tip. Nonetheless, though, both these phones are amazing. Let's be honest. Both these phones are very good. We don't know too much about the Techno when it comes to the horsepower of this. My guess is Tensor G2 chip's going to be more, powerful than the what's called Google Pixel Fold. But again, like I said, they're both very beautiful. And as you can see, this is some images from the Techno, which doesn't look like it's the best camera sensor. And to be honest, when you're spending $1,000 for a phone, overspending $1,800, there's going to be some things that you're going to be sacrificing. At the end of the day, we always say this, but whenever you're kind of giving up some things to get other things. And usually that other thing is the price, right? This is why the Samsung creates fan editions of all their cell phones, because it's a, cheaper version for someone who loves that cell phone but doesn't want to pay the crazy price tag of $1,200-$1,300. You can get a Galaxy S21 SE or FE, not SE, FE, and you can actually get it for much cheaper because it's a fan edition. Overall wise, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.